Slot Car News, sponsored by LEB Hobbies, your specialist in home and hobby slot car racing. Hello, folks. It is definitely that time again. Back in El Slot Studio. As you can see, that's Spanish for Slot Studio. We got a lot of news this week. I am box opening from our good friends, your friends, my friends, our friends at LEB, because this week a motor that had been in the works for some time is now, oh baby, I got a ton of them here, is now on sale. Yes, they're Cyclone. I have a bunch of these. I will be doing a giveaway. Yeah. Mention in the comments why you want one of these motors. And you too may have one of these motors that I will send you myself. These are the new Cyclone motor from LEB. They are a 21,000 RPM motor. 21,500 at 12 volts. This has pretty good torque to it, I understand. It does not say on the back here, but I write the specs down in the box here. The specs are, they're important, but not necessarily as important as what I've been told. This motor is a very, very, very drivable motor, folks. That is what I like. Now, Dave, you say, why do we need yet more motors? Why don't we need more motors? Sorry. This motor is $7.99. You need more $7.99 motors. Why do we need more motors that cost more than $20? That is what you should be asking. Thank you, yes. Not why do we need more motors that are $7.99. Come on, guys. Really. Hope I just didn't wake my wife up. I'm doing this video at night because I got work tomorrow, and yeah. I got 6 of these. I'm going to give most of these away, not because I don't like them. I'm sure I'll love them, but because, frankly, you know, you got to spread the love around, and that's the thing. Okay. This was not necessarily sponsored. Although LEB does sponsor my videos, the views expressed are solely my own because motors should not cost more than this motor, to be quite frank with you. In any case, this looks like a good quality motor. I've been talking with LEB for a while now about this motor, and we need more low-cost, good quality motors from everybody, for everybody to use. Now, that leads off the top of the news. Well, we're going to get into a whole bunch of car news here, starting with BRM3 Scirocco's. Oh, baby, my Scirocco. No, that was actually my Sharona, wasn't it? In any case, oh man, I am awful tonight. Yeah, 3 new Sciroccos. Yowza, these things look fantastic. There's been some discussion online about them and RevoSlot. RevoSlot news coming up in a minute here. Why people like them so much? Why do you not like them? They're good, high quality cars. They don't need to be the fastest cars in the world because they are high quality, beautifully done, beautiful bodies. The mechanicals on these cars is exquisite, if not necessarily the fastest. It's not meant to be. They're meant to be good, solid running cars with great parity, not parity between the cars. That means the cars are all fairly equal in speed, regardless of which car it is. They are all the same in quality, as Cartman would say. We got great cars here, folks. Not everything needs to be the fastest car in the world. We don't need to go for speed at all costs every time. And certainly BRM and Revo are giving us excellent quality all of the time. Not necessarily speed all of the time. In any case, count them, 6 new Revo Marcoses? Markai? I don't know. Beautiful, beautiful cars. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Marcos. I did manage to see a Marcos race, I believe, once. In my opinion, not a terribly pretty car. I'm not saying that the slot cars aren't terribly pretty. They are. They're gorgeous. Personally, of these 6 tribute liveries, the Elf car certainly jumps out at me. Boy, howdy, that's a pretty looking car. In any case, we got Revo, again, just coming up so strong with so many cars. You know, every time they do a release, it's like a veritable bomb dropping with great slot car goodness. That's right, I said slot car goodness. You heard that here first. We had a wayward mic there, folks. Avant Slot coming in with a beautiful resin Toyota that they're going to be doing. They do a variety of cars, from speed to kind of a home set kind of a thing with maybe the 2002s, kind of depending on how you look at them, or the 6 Series BMW that they do, and the kind of collectible cars that we saw in the, oh, hello, get back in focus there, that we saw with the release of the Mercedes that they did. Now they come out with a beautiful release. I have to look down at my notes of the Toyota here. This LMP car, the detail on this thing looks really, really high. It looks absolutely beautiful. There we go. Next, speaking of beautiful, we have 2 Fly cars. The Fly 911 that you see here, the Carrera that you see here, personally, it's the color combination from those years 911. Those years 911. Boy, you'd think I had a drink tonight. I didn't. You would think. That year of 911, or those years of 911s, that is the color combination that I love. That red and black. It is absolutely stunning. This is Jensen Button's car, evidently, one of them, and it's a beautiful car. Boy, howdy, this looks fantastic. Coming soon from Fly. This, I believe, is a very limited release on that car, and probably sold out already, knowing Fly. They have a new 934 as well. They had some updated photos. I would encourage you to find Rafa Fly on Facebook and friend him and see what they got going on, because Fly's got some really interesting cars coming, and if you're a Fly collector, probably don't want to miss them. Parma, 1/24 scale Parma news. Yes, folks, Parma, thank goodness. Roger is bringing back Parma with a freaking vengeance. Look at these cars. Now, this kit that he has here, it's 1/24 scale kit. There's a whole bunch of assembled cars that you see here. Wow, what a killer group of cars here. And I am very, very happy to see Roger flying that Parma flag high. American-made slot cars. I am all about American-made. Believe me, folks. And this is, I mean, yes, commercial track stuff is not necessarily my milieu, but we need this here in the U.S. We need a strong U.S. slot car market. We need strong U.S. slot car companies that produce here in the U.S. Freaking hallelujah. Thank you, Roger. Check out Parma. Scaleauto with 2 new liveries of their vintage, I guess you would call it, Formula Ones, the 90s cars, the Mercedes liveries on these cars. These look really great. I mean, you know, are they the most accurate car in the world? I'm not the one to judge this. Are they pretty? Hell yeah, they are. Are they going to go like hell? Hell yeah, they'll go like hell. They'll absolutely go really, really well. We know Scaleauto is doing some amazing stuff this year. Frankly, they are the company to watch this year. I believe they are. Slot.it releasing, well, there are two cars that have finally hit dealers, and I believe they're being shipped now, which reminds me I need to do a newsletter for a certain for a certain dealer friend of mine. They have the pink Acura that is getting obviously a very wide release. Hopefully I'll be getting one of those. And the new red F1 vintage Formula One car. We won't call it a you-know-what car. The 312 PB for those of us here in the States. Yowza, what a beautiful slot car. Arturo. I believe I actually met Arturo. He's kind of hard to miss. It was an older guy with the biggest, fluffiest head of white hair you ever saw in your life at Watkins Glen a few years ago. Yeah, that's an odd, random thought to throw in there, but hey, whatever. Speaking of odd and random, again, I don't know what I'm talking about. British Barn, the BB90R, or lovingly as we referred to it, the 88C. Another livery of this is in the offing from Slot.it. There you go. If you're into Group C, boy howdy, to Slot.it have you covered, folks. And again, not to be leaving a 962 left on the shelf. 962LH that you see here. Also up for pre-order, coming at the end of this year, beginning of next. One of those two cars is end of this year, beginning of next, that sort of thing. In either case, fantastic. 4 new releases from Slot.it being announced right now, or being announced in the last couple days. Either way, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We've gone over a lot of news. Have I missed any? Motors, no. BRMs, no. Revos, no. Avant, no. Parma, yeah, baby. Fly 934, no. And to the camera that was just cleaned and returned by Sony, no. Hey, right over the top. Thank you very much, folks. I don't know why I'm doing that. Stop back by right after this for an editorial about something. I don't really know what yet. And the editorial is something that we have talked about numerous times here on this channel. Slot cars are promoted here in the US. I've gotten a couple of these comments fairly recently, mainly after about kind of why slot cars haven't grown a lot here in the US. There are more reasons for this than the fact that some people don't see that slot cars are marketed. They are, but the problem is there's no real way to market to people that are self-selecting these days. Slot cars are marketed heavily on Facebook. At last count that I know the numbers for, 1 in every 12 people and 1 in every 6 Americans is on Facebook. There is heavy advertising that goes on Facebook for slot cars. This is probably one of the best ways to reach people these days. Magazines are not the way to do it. Product placements in magazines, there have been a number of tries at this. They don't really work very well. Publicizing slot cars at racing events is really a non-starter for the costs that I have researched personally. In the past, you're looking at a minimum of $100,000 to market slot cars per race, meaning per weekend. It's simply not worth it, because when you look at return on investment, you're looking at a 10 times return on investment when you do marketing, and when you do when you put real money into marketing events. That's what you look for as far as return on investment. So the marketing is really, it's only part of it. Societal changes are frankly most of the reason. Adults don't play with children anymore. Unfortunately, adults playing with kids and people playing together as families, it's how it's survived in Europe, quite frankly. Not that Europe is like a huge, massive success story, but believe me, there are massive clubs in Germany. I visited a few. One of them that I visited a number of times. Hopefully it's still around. I haven't seen the guys posting much, but I don't see everybody post. Slot Connection, the club in Nuremberg, Germany, that I had visited a number of times. They had a bar and small restaurant in their club, for goodness sakes. They have family nights when families come and race. And yes, shock of shocks, girls, women, moms are there racing regularly, not just guys that are older than me. I'm 54. Every club in the States that I've been to has been people usually at least 20 years older than me or my age, usually no kids, in someone's basement, and it's just not the case. In Europe, it's been a family activity. It's just kind of how play patterns have changed here in the US. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a fact. We don't look at a slot car set like this as an investment. We look at it as a toy that's to be taken down and put away and only brought out once a year. That has nothing to do with marketing. That has to do with the perception of what this toy, what this hobby is to be used for, where its place is in our lives. That's not a marketing thing. That's a societal thing. That's a question. That's a way people choose to use a product, regardless of how it's marketed to them, because that's how they've been raised. Unfortunately, to think of this like kind of the holidays train set. It's the holiday slot car set. They take it out, they put it up, they take it down. Gradually it gets forgotten about, put into the attic, if you have an attic, and stops being part of people's lives. And that's really sad, quite frankly. That we need this to be a part of everyday life, to be a more popular toy than it frankly is. Because people don't say, or people say these things that don't really understand. They say, oh, well, the first thing they trot out is, well, slot cars aren't popular because there's no marketing, because there's no common denominator between the different companies. That's not it at all. Carrera sells hundreds of thousands of slot car sets a year. I know this because when I was there the last year, the last couple of years that I was there, I know the numbers that we sold, and there were hundreds of thousands of sets sold. Whether you believe me or not, frankly, doesn't matter. It's the case. And I know no other slot car company sold hundreds of thousands of sets in North America. I've talked to or worked for the other companies that could have done this. But Dave, you say the HO companies might have done this. They haven't, because I've talked with their owners. I know that who they sell to. I know that they haven't sold to the biggest outlets in the world, like Walmart, like Target, like Toys R Us. None of them have. Just Carrera. When I was working there, we did. When I was working at SCX, we sold a bunch of sets to Target as well. None of the HO companies have. So they're all written out, basically. So, we talk about, growing the hobby, or how big the hobby is, or whether the hobby's dying. It's not dying. It does grow, but it's a seasonal kind of a hobby now, or a seasonal kind of toy now. Frankly, the amount of content that gets put online now is probably a much more importance than much marketing, than a lot of marketing that could be done. The amount that Track Fans TV and Raul and everybody, Harry Wise and Marty and Travis and all the guys that put out regular content, Massimo, Scaleauto recently has just been absolutely killing it with putting out videos. I definitely want to encourage Slot.it to put out more. There's Scaleauto that does quite a bit. Carrera, they do some. They should be doing more, quite frankly. They have a big marketing staff in Austria. There's so much that could be done, but quite frankly, now a lot of the YouTubers, I include myself in there, we're really, as a group, doing more of the marketing than the companies do. We're helping out folks as a group, as a disparate group of people. We're doing much more to help the hobby than, I really do believe that. Everybody is doing a lot to help the hobby. Everyone's doing a great job, regardless of who you are, regardless of your ability, whether you spend a lot of money on production, quality, whatever, spending all too much money, frankly, that I have, or you're just doing it with your phone. Does not matter. It is all important. And as we all kind of grow as a group, as a community of, as we call, content creators, we will get the word out to folks just by the nature of the sector of YouTube, the hobby sector that we have, that we're all contributing to, that we're all making videos for pretty much every week. I'm definitely, I need to increase the frequency of the videos that I do. Some guys are just absolutely killing it, doing a couple videos a week, and that is fan-freaking-tastic. Good job, guys. So, yeah, I really don't think that it's grassroots marketing that is going to help. I really don't think that it's the companies themselves that are really going to be leading the way. This is sort of the tail wagging the dog. The tail needing more lead. No, you need more lead up front to stop. Okay, sorry, that's terrible. Thank you very much, folks. I will not be able to do a live stream on Sunday. Baseball season is taking all of my effort, all of my time. I'm doing this video late. Actually, it is early Friday morning. It is, I believe, 1 o'clock now. I have a treatment today and baseball game later on this afternoon. By the time you all see this, I will be just sitting down. I probably will be there at the premiere the debut, whatever you want to call it, answering questions. And yeah, there we go, folks. I think that's it. See you all again soon, folks. Thanks very much for showing up.